Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, guys. Are we live? Are we live? 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. And it is, whoa, Monday, the 26th of what? Of August, AD 2024. Happy Men's History Month, everybody. I'm gonna, let me do this. Let me turn this racket down a little bit. Can you guys hear it? Is it loud? Is it as loud for you as it is for me? We're gonna have a fun, loosey-goosey, The Hake Report show, everybody. TheHakeReport.com. I'm not going live on IG. Maybe I'll stream live on IG very briefly to tell the IG people to come on over to TheHakeReport.com and pick your alternative platforms, because IG wants to ban me for streaming on their platform, even though they said you can do it. The heck with the hake. But I will get to your calls. I do hope to talk about some stuff going on in the world. There's drama, you know. I mean, we'll see what we get to, okay? We'll see what we get to. But there is... There are sensible men who are for Trump. There is and senseless people who are not for Trump. But who cares, right? Who cares? Some interesting stuff in the news, and terrible stuff in the news. They're banning free speech. I have calls to get to, super chats to get to, I do believe. Tim Walz's son, shout out. But anyway, guys, let's just get right on with the show. Wait, hold on. The show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I'm wearing my Better Not Bitter t-shirt. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it. It is courtesy of Bond's Teespring store, rebuildingtheman.com/stores. Rebuildingtheman.com/stores. It's not on the Hake Report, okay? It's not on the Hake Report Teespring. So get it right. Get it right. I wanted to share with you some things going on in the world. Lord have mercy. And let's see. First of all, they're going after the normal people. You know, the normal people? Because they think that some people act weird. Because they do. And they want to say, oh, it's a teachable moment. This mama spirit. And I, for one, don't think that they should be playing mama. I mean, they will, of course. But look at this. For example, Tim Walz's son. They're going hard over on this neurodivergent stuff. Tim Walz's son acting funny, and he's cool. I like him, for one. He reminds me of people I know. A 17-year-old young man, and he's neurodivergent. And his son, Gus, Tim Walz, is the vice presidential candidate for cackling Kamala Harris. How embarrassing, huh? But his son doesn't know better. His son was raised in a feminist world. Maybe he does somewhat know that something is off, but come on, you can't really expect him to do that. Most Americans were introduced to Governor Gus Walz, not governor. The 17-year-old son of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Wednesday, when he rose to his feet and shouted, "That's my dad! That's my dad!" And I have pictures from that I want to show you very briefly here. Gus Walz. What an interesting fella. Here he is. Look at that young man. All excited. Shout out to this. You guys, anybody have a corny family? I love a corny family. Just look at them. With a corny dad. And they're white, so I'm allowed to say stuff, talk about them like a dog. Look, the daughter has a tattoo. Whoa, put on some sleeves, young lady. But she might be younger than him, too. Is she underage with a tattoo? Maybe I'm wrong. And there's the wife. What is his learning disorder? In an interview with People magazine, Walz and his wife shared that their son... Let me click over here. Oh, what in the world? Sorry, guys. Pardon me. Let me reopen this. I'm a boomer, guys. Don't blame me. I'm a boomer. Has ADHD, a nonverbal learning disorder, and anxiety disorder. I'm glad they didn't have this stuff when I was a kid. I wonder if my mother would have fallen for that stuff. In a statement to People magazine, Walz and his wife said they had noticed his differences at an early age, and they never considered the condition to be an obstacle. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Let's see. Can I show the next one? Oh yeah, there's that boy. The spotlight on the Walz family raises public awareness. Public awareness. So Hake is doing a service. PSA, guys. Advocates for Americans with learning disabilities. I call them handicaps. Because they're just handicapped. They're held back in some level. Believe the Walz family's openness about their son and their willingness to speak publicly about the experience will raise much needed visibility that could help others who are going through similar issues. And look at this boy. He's all happy for his dad or emotional about his dad. Nice suit, young man. That's my dad. 17-year-old man. It's a good thing when people in politics who are running for office are comfortable discussing disability issues and don't view it as a topic that is taboo or something we shouldn't discuss. So said Zoe Gross, Director of Advocacy for the Washington-based Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, to USA Today. Shout out. But they're pushing a victimhood around it and we need to censor the people who make fun of them, and we need to destigmatize this, destigmatize that, and they're like, stigma, stigma, stigma. And it's so... It's so wolf in sheep's clothing. You know what I mean? Look at that man. Look at this man. We wish him well. That's the Governor Tim Walz's son, formerly a military veteran of sorts, who was really an aspiring politician, seemingly. Maybe the whole time, not sure. and a liberal high school teacher who wanted to help start a gay-straight alliance when some student came out to him, talk about another wolf in sheep's clothing, who may not even realize that he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Oh, what's the point of a wolf in sheep's clothing who doesn't realize that they're a wolf in sheep's clothing? Or maybe they do, I don't know. But it's like a self-righteous looking down on you for not knowing something or for responding as a child might. I believe that the people who push the propagandizing onto children, they try to propagandize children. I believe that part of that is to take away the natural honesty and natural knowing that children have. Because children kind of know when something is off about you, and they may say something insensitive about you, quote unquote. And mama doesn't like that. The wolf in sheep's clothing, mama, does not like that. And it's also a reversing. They'll punish the normal and capable and confident and lift up the unconfident and abnormal and incapable on some level, and try to like give them this crutch, which supposedly will make them more capable, but it also hampers their capabilities. Because a whole lot of this stuff, I have a former de facto producer who called himself high-functioning autistic. And I've known many other people who get enabled. And it's human nature for anybody, no matter even if whatever the issue is. Let's say you're living at your parents' house. You're being handicapped. They're handicapping the handicapped. Are you following what I'm trying to say? These wolves in sheep's clothing are they're like babying this young man. Shout out to this young man. Shout out. But there's like a shout out. I like that the Waltzes claim that they didn't see it as like holding him back or something. But even still, the fact that they went and named off these diagnoses, nonverbal learning disorder, that sounds pretty serious. I don't know how that stuff happens. And I disavow any speculation about schmack scenes and stuff like that. I completely disavow it because I don't know, okay? I don't know. And there's ADHD, ADD. The first time I ever heard of ADD I was like 4th grade, 9 years old. And one of my classmates, I told this story once before, was at Jesus Club with my family. Not my family, but my mother held this Jesus Club Friday afternoons for the neighborhood kids. Because they wanted to start a gang, and they're like, no, how about let's do a Jesus Club? So we'd sing songs, listen to a story, answer questions, get candy, play outside before and after. And it was fun. But there was one young man, 6 years old or so, maybe 7 or 8. It might have been 2nd or 3rd grade, who says, I have ADD, which is what they used to call ADHD, attention deficit disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I have ADD, I can't do it. And my mother's like, get in here, you can do it. Like, no, he's hiding in the... I didn't blame him for wanting to hide or whatever, because people don't like to sit around. Boys don't like to just sit there, especially boys who are hyper. And then anxiety disorder. I don't know. I might be a little anxious if I had these two as my parents. Heck, people are a little anxious with even, and these look relatively normal, right? Look at her. Shout out. But do you think this causes anxiety disorder, quote unquote disorder? What caused that? Was he born to her and him at an older age? You know how everybody's putting off having children until later? What is it? Is it the food? Is it the? And I disavow any other type of speculation about the doctors, of course. Although I do leave it open because I really don't know. But I think that this has something to do with this anxiety stuff. They're enabled to be non-functioning on some level. But it's a setup to be calling it all this stuff. It's a setup. Because they're naming all these things, and it's like they're making up stuff. And I get that there is stuff that does happen, and there is like new, if you will, sort of new situations. We haven't had the internet the way that we haven't had as many this is or that's. But I disavow it, of course. For those who are listening on audio podcasts, I gestured like I was giving myself a shot, but I really don't even think it's that. There's like a mass, a brainwashing towards the mother and towards this evil, like mother spirit, the liberalism, the feminism. This is a liberal family, but this is happening in all the different families, so-called conservative, that we haven't really seen in a little while. His shoes, man. Look at his shoes. Come on, man. You dress all nice and then you wear these shoes. What? You're not a basketball player. I'm commenting on his white sneakers with his... He has a nice suit on, and then he wears these white sneakers. I mean, it looks okay, but it doesn't look right to me. But I'm a boomer millennial. Anyway, that's that. It's enough of that. It's way too much, probably, of that. But there's like this, it's a teachable moment. The Guardian, backlash over criticism of Tim Walz's emotional son. Families are everything. You don't even believe in family. These liberals. The vice presidential nominee's son was unrestrained in his reactions at the Democrat National Convention. And it's an article by Edward Helmore. Keyword Helmore. Nah. Over in the far-left extremist foreign outlet, The Guardian. The intense response that's my dad, that he saw thrust him into the spotlight as the convention convention sees the breakout star, and with them raise the issue of nonverbal learning disorders, ADHD and anxiety disorder that he's reported to experience. Commentator Ann Coulter, beautiful Ann, posted on X about his reaction. Talk about weird. Oh, because they're trying to call Trump and Vance weird. I could see calling Vance a little odd, but Trump, come on. And Vance is relatively normal, but you could say that he's 17, trended on the platform. I can see why a child loving their parents, that's not love, buddy, would feel foreign to you. So said Obama staffer turned liberal podcaster Tommy Vietor. Never been easy, the child of a high profile. Look at this. There's forget politics, Tim Walz's son Gus floored TV news host from MSNBC to Fox News. So look at this guy. There's that famous picture. This one is like ridiculous. Photo of Gus Walz was why did I click allow? Block. Was a teachable moment. Republicans missed it, said this MSLSD headline. In a brief amount of time, he's offered us a clear alternative to the subpar, pathetic masculine identities have historically been available to boys and men. Oh, please. Who wrote this? Christina Wyman, author of the novel Jawbreaker. Tim Walz, I do appreciate on some level, Tim Walz has like a nice imitation of masculinity on some level, a little bit. He has sort of a like this little bit of confidence, a little bit of just natural talent and ability to be a little funny, off the cuff, normal. It'll be interesting seeing him debate J.D. Vance. Because J.D. Vance is right. Tim Walz is wrong. J.D. Vance is right on more stuff, I think, anyway. Not completely right. But shout out to J.D. Vance. I really, I respect him. And Tim Walz, I respect him too on a certain level, although it's embarrassing being a male Democrat. It's embarrassing being a male rhino too. And J.D. used to be a male rhino, a never Trumper. But this is not a man. This is not a masculine. Okay, anyway, what do you expect from MSLSD? Ring. What's up, everybody? Trump is pretty weird, Hake, says Kevin. LOL, lots of laughs. He's orange and awkward with his dance moves. No, his dance moves are just, they're natural, they're genuine, Trump is not weird. The orange part, I'm a little bit, maybe not. He's just tan. He gets sunshine. He goes golfing. Every week. That's his only exercise, only form of exercise. There isn't, and that's not even really what they're talking about, Kevin Howe. I think Kevin Howe is trolling me a little bit in the chat. And he may use one of those tanning things. Anyway, let's get to some calls here, guys. I have callers patiently waiting on hold, and we're nearing the bottom of the hour. David in Ocala, Florida, is on the line. Thank you, David, for holding and calling as usual. What's up, man?
What's happening?
Not much. How about you?
I'm pumped up today, man. I'm having my Suzuki GSX 8S delivered at about 4 o'clock this afternoon, so I'm freaking excited. If you're out there, William, there you go, baby. I'm getting a bike delivered today. But,
GSX 8S. Oh, so be careful on the road there. That's a crotch rocket. That's a motorcycle.
About a 12-20 quarter mile at 118 miles an hour bike.
Is that Japanese?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Suzuki's Japanese. But anyway, hey,
be careful out there. Just be careful. Mama Hake wants you to be careful now.
Well, I want to tell you at the end of this when I get done, I want to tell you about the worst woman I ever met. Okay, but I called to tell you about Susan Lawrence. You know, the lady who shot through the door a year ago and killed the black lady.
Oh, down. Is that in Florida where that happened? You mentioned this story before.
You did. The girl's name was Jike Owens, or they call her AJ Owens. Anyway, they found the lady guilty.
Oh,
so this white woman.
The white woman.
She's facing up. Yeah, she's facing up to 30 years in jail.
Oh wow, white woman guilty.
Yeah.
We wish her well. Chin up, queen, princess.
Mm-hmm.
And women get nervous. And that was not a malicious shooting. That was a fear-filled shooting.
Yeah,
right?
She was scared. You know, the woman was banging on her door, probably telling her, "I'm going to beat the heck out of you." And,
really?
For messing with my kid. Oh, yeah, that's what the black woman was banging on her door.
Oh.
Okay, that's when she shot through.
No, I know banging on the door. I forgot what the context was, though. It wasn't like that woman there was some woman or a young man who got shot, and I think he survived, by an older man who was banging on a neighbor's door few blocks over or something in the middle of the night.
This woman had issues with the black lady's children, the white woman, Susan. She had issues with the black woman's children and stuff. And
yeah.
She wanted them off her property and all that. So something happened with a computer or something like that, and or a tablet or something, and the black lady came to the white lady's house just screaming and yelling and trying to get her outside, and, scared the poor woman to death, man. She's just kicking the crap out of her door, so she shot through the door and killed her.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, hey, you want to talk? You were talking about deceivers.
Deceivers.
You know, wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
Those are deceivers. That's you know, I'd already written this down. That's the Obamas, man. You see them at the DNC. I mean, that they make me sick. I can't stand them. Okay.
That's because you're racist.
No.
I'm kidding.
No.
I'm totally kidding. You know I'm kidding.
Michelle's ponytail all the way down. I mean, I can't even look at them, man. That's how much they make me sick.
Well, watch yourself because you don't want to. You don't want to be overreacting, and you could potentially turn other people off. It's not good for you to be overreacting. Yeah, they're sick people. They are sick.
Man, they are messed up.
But they're not the only wolves in sheep's clothing.
No,
they are
definitely
they are the epitome. Are they the epitome of wolves in sheep's clothing? They are definitely an example of wolves in sheep's clothing.
They're up there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, her dragging Oprah up there, and them her being a billionaire, and Michelle, and them being millionaires, and going to tell us about how, you know, tell us their thoughts and theories about us, you know, middle class people. They can't, you know, they're crazy. You know? And here's the thing. This is why it's the Obamas, okay, and Oprah, okay, and people like Maxine Waters and Sheila Jackson Lee. That's why those white men, those wise white men, a long time ago, didn't want them to be able to vote and get into this thing.
Yeah.
Because look what's happened.
I'm with you, man.
You with me on that?
I'm with you because people are so senseless. People are so senseless.
Well, those people that I just named, Maxine Waters, Sheila Jackson Lee, and Obamas and all that, those are the most racist people.
Yeah.
They are so racist. Okay, you know, they act like they're not racist. They act like they're, you know, but unless you're, it's okay as long as you're a white Democrat.
Yeah.
If you're a white Republican, you know, you're no good.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that's why Jussie Smollett is out of jail, because he's a Democrat. If he was a Republican, you think they'd have let him out?
If he were a Republican, he wouldn't have tried to do a fake hate crime.
Well, that too.
Yeah,
you're right about that.
Yeah. But you're right. I was reading this interesting post on X from this guy named the Krasenstein, one of the Krasenstein brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how, you know, Trump is this, Trump is that. And I'm looking up to see if I can show this. And he's talking about, he's talking about this, what do I say? All these witch hunts against Trump as if it makes Trump look bad. No, it makes them look bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Joe from Phoenix. You know, you and I both know and love Joe from Phoenix, right? If we love anybody. But Joe, I don't know if you do.
That's a wolf in sheep's clothing right there.
Yeah, exactly. But he's convicted felon and stuff like that. Those are just headlines. They're headlines because people who know the situation at all know that it was a witch hunt against Trump. They went after him because he's Trump, and they hate him. And what because he's Trump means is because he's right, because he's real, because he actually wants the law enforced about the border and crime and all that stuff. He's the law and order president, so they invert it, just like they invert the capable with the incapable, the women over the men instead of men over women. They invert it so that Trump is the criminal when he's the law and order president.
Right.
What a mess.
Well, that's because they're so deceptive, and they're like you know, it's funny. They loved Trump back in the 80s and 90s when
Right.
he was giving them all that money and he was young and, you know, and all those rap singers were, you know, putting him in videos and all that kind of stuff. And they really loved Trump,
Yeah.
you know, when he was, but then when he decided to run, and what it is he's messing up their agenda, you know, and he's not stupid. He's a very smart man, so he knows the inside information on what they're doing, you know, to get rich, and, you know, insider, you know what, and to get rich, because, you know, Obama went into the White House worth $2 million and left worth $120 million. I mean, give me a break. And you're going to tell me Nancy Pelosi got where she's at on $176 or $8,000 a year salary? I know she's got a husband.
Yeah.
But not like that, man. So here, let me tell you about the worst woman I ever met. And there's a lot in this story. Okay, this is one of the things your mother kept you sheltered from. You know, Hake.
Mine personally, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure she kept you sheltered from this. When I was like 15 years old, I had this friend of mine that was like 30 years old. This guy drank like a case of beer a day. So I was hanging out with him one day, you know, just drinking a beer, and he says, "Hey, you want to ride to this woman's house? I need to do something, get something from her or whatever." I don't know what it was, and it was about 35 miles away. I said, "Sure." So we ride over to this woman's house, and we get there. It's actually an apartment, and we go upstairs. We get into her apartment. I'm sitting down at the kitchen table, and she's just this big, fat slob of a woman. And
Shout out.
She has this 10-year-old kid named Charlie running around, okay?
Uh-huh.
And she starts yelling at her son. She goes, "Charlie, if you don't calm down, I'm not going to give you your nightly beer."
Whoa, nice. I disavow that. I mean.
So I'm sitting there looking at her, and I'm thinking, and she goes, "Yeah, I give him a beer every night to put him to sleep, okay, to knock him out."
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there, man, and I'm thinking, okay, great. Okay, you're turning your 10-year-old kid into an alkie. And as I'm sitting there, Hake, I'm not kidding you, I'm serious here, as I'm sitting there looking at her, trying to figure this thing out in my head, I see behind her on the wall, there's 15 to 20 roaches crawling on the wall behind her.
Whoa. And this is a house you were in?
Yeah, and I flipped out, man. I was like, "Check, please." And when I got down to that, my friend's car, and got in that car, I thought to myself, "Boy, you got the best mama in the world. When you go home, you better give her a hug."
Oh, man. That's the message you gleaned from it? I mean, it's good to be thankful.
Yeah.
It's good to be thankful for your parents, of course, right? For whatever good value that they brought or whatever. But isn't that a sign to you that mothers are evil?
That particular one was.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Man, that's those women that you're talking about.
Yeah.
No father in the home. Okay, you got what I'm saying?
Right.
None of that, you know. I was like, dude, that stuck with me all my life. That's why I told you, man, I've had this like crazy life. Okay?
Was she Irish?
Look,
the chat wants to know.
I don't know what. I only met her once. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I often wondered about that little boy. You get what I'm saying? I mean, think about all that.
I had a
Man,
friend.
there's a lot there.
I had a friend whose dad was at like a carnival with us, and he was drinking beer. And he's all, "You want some beer, son? I mean, you want some, son?" Like, "No, I don't drink beer," because we were brainwashed as kids to be like anti-beer. And we were like 5, 6, 7.
Oh, of course.
But it's, to me, it's, I mean, okay, so a dad offering a son a sip is different from whatever this mother was doing. Whatever this mother was doing.
Well, because he probably had ADHD, like you were talking about.
Oh, and to calm him down.
He was all over the place. And, you know, that ADHD could be coming from those vaccines they've been pumping into people, because you never heard about
I disavow it.
ADHD.
I disavow it only because I don't know, and because for the sake of the channel in addition. But yeah, I don't know.
Food too. And
the food and also how people are raised. They say that young people who were raised without iPads or iPhones and smartphones and stuff
Mm-hmm.
fare better in their minds than young people who were raised with them, or at least in terms of how many hours that they use. If it's very limited
Right.
use, because it's good to learn that stuff, and young people pick it up quick. They're fast and they're smart, so it's good to know it. I'm not saying that, but there is something to all this not playing outside and being indoors all the time and being spoiled and mamaed
Right.
and all
Right.
that. And that's beyond just the chemicals in the food and water and air and shots and stuff.
Well,
But
sometimes
I'm sure it all. I'm telling you, I just don't know what all it is.
Well, it's scary because you go out, like you go to a restaurant and
Yeah.
you see these people with their 2-year-old kid, and the kid's got a freaking iPad in front of them playing with watching a cartoon or playing something, and they don't realize the stimuli that they're putting in that kid's brain.
Yeah.
And they're making that kid, that's going to be like a drug to them. That's why they get crazy when you try to take. I've seen kids go nuts, little kids, when they hand them phones, and all that, and like 2-year-old, and they go to take that phone back away from them, and the kid just goes ballistic.
Yeah. Right. It's like giving them candy, or drugs or something.
Well,
you're so right.
My stepdad used to pull when I was like 9 years old. He used I was in like the 4th grade. He would take me to the convenience store every morning and buy me a 16-ounce chocolate milk and this little cake called a Devil's Delight, and I would suck that thing down on the way to school.
Wow.
Then years later, I thought back and I told him, I said, dude, no wonder the teacher wrote down I don't pay attention in class and excessive talking.
So true, man.
Yeah, you can't throw a kid a Pop-Tart first thing in the morning with some fruit punch and send them to school.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I used to really like the idea of Pop-Tarts. I barely ever got to eat them, but they were always
I'm sure
a
your
little.
mom did.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even have sugar cereal. We had to put honey on our plain Cheerios, and I put honey on it. I put it one direction, and then crisscross, and then swirl like a spiral, and then my brothers or sister would be like, "Whoa, James, whoa," get in trouble. Yeah, only later did we start to have that.
You had a good mom. You had good parents. That's
yeah.
My kids got taken away from me, so I couldn't do
That's
that
right.
to them. My wife took them when they were young, and so I couldn't keep. But if they would have lived with me and everything like that, I can guarantee you this: I wouldn't have been feeding them, sugared up cereal in the morning and all that kind of stuff. They would have been eating fruit and and all that kind of stuff.
There's a famous image of Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though he's a liberal lame-o and kind of a beta politically and spiritually.
I know, it's unbelievable.
Regardless of that, the way that he works out and the way that a man or even a beta male who knows about being fit raises his son versus his divorced wife, mother of his other son, you look at the son who was raised by, there's this famous meme.
Yeah, he's got a son from
his son is all fit. Yeah, and then his other son is all fat and beta and a slob. And that son was raised by the mother. At least apparently, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because mothers...
Yeah, that's what he gets for messing around with the, what was it, the maid or the housekeeper?
I don't remember.
Like
I don't know.
Yeah. That's what blew up his marriage.
Yeah, what a shame.
Yeah. But man, Terminator was something.
Yeah, Terminator 2 was good too. I didn't see those until well into my 30s, maybe even 40s.
Because your mom wouldn't let you watch that.
Yeah, no rated R movies. Spoiler alert has the meme. Nice. Let me see if I can put that in here. Do.
I'll leave you with this, man. When I was like 8 years old, I was sitting in front of my television set.
Yeah.
And my mom's in the kitchen, right? And she's cooking. And this commercial comes on for this movie called Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry. It had Peter Fonda in it.
Okay.
And when the commercial was over, it's a famous movie. At the end, this Charger runs into a train, okay, and they get killed. But anyway, a yellow Charger runs into this train. Anyway, I jump up off the ground and I go, Mom, I want to go see that movie. And she goes, oh, no, you're not. I didn't see that movie for 30 years later. I was 38 years old one day, and I had gotten satellite hooked up at my house, and I was scrolling through, and I saw Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, and I finally got to watch it 30 years later. Ain't that crazy?
Was your mother right or wrong to censor that movie from you?
Yeah, but like I'd already seen Billy Jack. Okay, you know what Billy Jack is?
No, is it some harsh, crazy movie?
Well, no, it was about a guy. He was
like a rated R. I'm not talking about the plot. I'm just like a rated R.
Yeah, it was
PG-13.
it was on the verge. It wasn't any worse than Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry. I'd seen all kinds of movies. It was just the fact that she was trying to set a boundary with me because she heard the announcement, you know, how it was going off. You know, they were robbing stores and all kinds of. And I'd already seen Bonnie and Clyde, the original. So, you know, I was already like, you know, way above my age at 8 years old. I mean, people used to, like when I was 8, the people thought I was like 12. I acted like I was 12. I was so, you know.
Yeah, because you threatened your stepfather with a knife.
Right.
Interesting, man.
Quick, man. Anyway, listen, I'll let you go, man. You have a great day, okay?
You as well. Thank you,
right,
David in Ocala. Take care.
Anytime, buddy. Bye. Bye.
Nice. Appreciate that, David. I was showing you guys this, spoiler alert, found that meme. Sons of Arnold, one raised by his father, one by his mother. And you see this boy all fit, this young man all fit riding a bike out there with his dad, with his arms almost as big as Hake's. I think my arms are a little bit bigger, right? No. And then the portly young man with the mother, purportedly. Not good. Not good. Sons of Arnold. Thank you, spoiler alert, for that meme. That'll leave a mark in your psyche because it's reality. Shout out to memes. They are good for communicating simple, true points. Portly, that's morbid obesity, says Le Chateau. That's right. So you're going to support Trump because RFK supports not having obese childhood obesity. And he supports Trump. Way bigger, Hake. My arms are way bigger or his are way bigger? It doesn't mean he's mentally fit. That's right, Zuzu. That's right. Yeah, Arnold's a kind of a beta. And when I say kind of, I mean really a beta. But I respect his work ethic, and he has some sense. He has some sense, just some, I can't use that word. I'm going to use it anyway. So just some gaping holes and gaps in his sense. What's up, Cody? Nice. Hake is short. Stupider. Whatever. Joe in Phoenix, Arizona is on the line here. Joe, thank you for calling and holding there, man. Appreciate you. Go ahead.
Good morning, James. All right.
Morning.
So a while ago, I asked you if you were familiar with credit default swaps, and you weren't really familiar, right?
That sounds right.
Okay. So basically, they're an insurance product that pays out if the borrower defaults on their loan.
Okay.
Now, I've been harping on you about the Fed and corruption for a while now, but this is truly insidious, James. The Federal Reserve has been buying credit default swaps left and right, and they bought up a mall in Oklahoma. They now own a mall in Oklahoma, and they're selling for cheap.
Wow.
They now own credit default swaps on the Florida school systems, James.
And where are you getting this?
Where am I getting this?
Yeah.
They actually they have to disclose it.
Okay, but you're not getting it direct from that source. You're hearing about it in the news? I'm assuming.
In the news and directly from them, yes, they have to disclose what they're buying.
Oh, wow.
By law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what crashed the
credit
market.
default
Sho Sugino says credit default swaps is what crashed the markets in 2008.
Big part of it, absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
people are not paying back. They're getting loans that they couldn't afford, and shame on them too, obviously, right?
Well, do you really want the Fed owning a school?
No.
School system in Florida?
No, of course not. But listen. Shame on those who agreed to loans they couldn't pay back.
No, of course.
Yeah, and we have an growing incompetence problem, and growing irresponsibility problem in America.
We can agree on that.
And that's making the economy weak. Because the economy is stronger when we are responsible and law abiding.
100%, absolutely.
Yeah. What a
So
mess.
these wise white men, David and Ocala, they're buying up debt in California and Nevada, just yet another way, James, of how the rich are getting richer and the haves and the have-nots are not even aware of this information. It's unbelievable. The corruption, James, is unbelievable.
Interesting. Yeah.
So we have the Federal Reserve
but I don't think
betting
that
against.
David in Ocala wasn't calling those white men wise. He was talking about the wise founders, I think.
I didn't get that, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's talking about the wise white men who are running the Fed or whatever.
It's just unbelievable, the corruption. People aren't even aware of it. It's unbelievable. All right. If you give me 2 minutes, on Friday, you gave Himmler 15 minutes to vomit his filth and disgustingness and lies and being wrong about me.
Oh, my goodness. I forgot to get by the way, you ever seen these Criollas? I forgot to get my snake out. What's up? Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, he keeps harping on Farrakhan. So
Yeah.
let's address that first.
Okay.
If you give me a couple minutes to respond here.
Yeah.
So you and I were talking about Farrakhan, and you and I were discussing saying that he was involved in the death of Malcolm X, right?
Yeah, and I didn't mean to agree with that necessarily because I don't know. I was just saying he definitely seemed to gloat about it. But you're saying he was definitely involved in the death, according to you?
Involved. Not that he pulled the trigger or that he was arrested for it or investigated for it. Involved is what we said.
What you're saying but I didn't mean to jump on that bandwagon.
Well, you agreed on. And
here's what I agreed. I said he certainly gloated. I didn't mean to. It was misunderstood by many, but I do not agree necessarily because I don't know. I don't know that he was like partly behind it. He certainly didn't seem to be against it. He seemed to be gloating in that speech that I saw one time. That's all I meant. Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely. Okay. The best proof of this that I was right and that you agreed with me. Farrakhan did a interview on 60 Minutes in the year 2000. You can find it on YouTube. Did an interview with Malcolm X's oldest daughter, where he admitted his words to being complicit in the death of Malcolm X. Boom,
now,
case closed.
No. But that could be because he was saying he spoke to Malcolm X's daughter and said that? That's interesting.
Sitting right next to her, yeah.
He could have been saying, I was complicit in that. I was speaking against him and condemning him because he turned on Elijah Muhammad.
Yep.
But that's
exactly
different.
What I said.
But that's different from being part of the scheme to get him killed.
And that's not what I said. I said he was involved. And if you watch the interview, you'll hear him say that he intentionally fostered an environment of extreme hatred and anger towards Malcolm X that, in his words, not mine, contributed and was complicit to the death of Malcolm X, which is exactly what I said.
And was he contrite about that?
Oh, absolutely. He was asking for forgiveness from the daughter and for forgiveness from God himself also. Absolutely.
Okay, because do you think, are you trying to say, because you're using sort of lawyer words, involved is sort of a lawyer word. I don't think that that's a fair statement if he didn't know that it would get him killed. Let's say he's kind of like the media who are bashing Trump and trying to compare Trump to Hitler. Everybody who compares Trump to Hitler isn't knowingly trying to foster a situation where they try to assassinate Trump. But some of them might be. Are you saying that if Farrakhan, in your mind, are you saying and thinking that Farrakhan was trying to get Malcolm X killed? Or was it he was just reckless?
Not my opinion. Watch the video for yourself. It's on YouTube. He says directly that he was intentionally fostering an environment of extreme hatred and anger towards Malcolm X.
That's different from trying to get him killed.
Well, James, I'm not privy to the ins and outs of the NOI, but he had to know exactly what he was doing would end up, and that's why I said involved. I didn't say he was directly responsible. So, boom, Joe is right, and Himmler is wrong and lying yet again.
No, I don't. I think that you guys just have a disagreement.
Just like
I think that's out of all of the disagreements you guys had, that one is the. He seems more fair than you. About this.
You protect him, where you always do.
I'm not protecting him. I'm just pointing out. I'm really protecting myself from accusations of defamation against Farrakhan, because you're interpreting his statements in a way that could be construed as saying that he wanted to get him killed, and that may not be true.
That's why I said involved, and he used the words that he was complicit. He uses the word complicit in the interview, James.
I know, but that doesn't mean that he was involved. Involved suggests that he was an accomplice.
That's what complicit means, James.
I know, huh? But that doesn't mean. But it doesn't mean that I'm talking accomplice legally.
And I never claimed that he was responsible legally. I said he was he was involved.
And even like fostering extreme hatred. Yeah, if you hate your brother, you're a murderer, biblically speaking, right? Yes. But that doesn't mean that he was involved in his death. When you're saying you're complicit because you were being vicious toward your neighbor, Malcolm X, that's different. And I don't even like Louis Farrakhan.
I would
obviously.
hope not.
Yeah.
He's a lunatic, but
yeah, because he's angry. I'm not anti-Semite. I'm anti-termite. Evil.
He's an idiot.
Oh, I don't know if he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. His mother tried to abort him with a coat hanger. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah.
So
according to the story, I don't know whose story that is.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that.
Yeah.
So Himmler was wrong and lying about that.
But that's not a lie. Wait.
Sure.
That's not a lie. That's a different interpretation. Because that...
No, he was lying about what I said. He was wrong and lying about Weisberg never going to prison.
I don't agree with you that I don't like the word he was involved. I don't even like the word that he was complicit. I think he was just kissing up.
Those were his own words, not mine.
I know. I disagree with his own words.
Okay, you disagree with the guy who were debating. Okay.
Yeah.
He was wrong and lying about 1/3 of black people being on parole. He was wrong and lying about only white players roughing up Caitlin Clark. I disproved that in 10 seconds.
Oh, you meaning only black people roughing up Caitlin Clark?
Yeah,
obviously.
Black players, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was wrong and lying about whites don't commit crime nationwide. Hells Angels do over $1 billion a year nationwide in drug sales.
Oh, I should have my snake out still.
He was wrong and lying about the Constitution says black people are only 3/5 of human beings and that Native Americans were on reservations. He was wrong in lying about no African space program existing.
No, Big Bump clowned you on that one, man.
Clown me, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, so the African Space Union claims that over 44 satellites have been launched from Africa, not other countries, from Africa. And oh, by the way, NASA signed a 20-year contract with SpaceX to launch their rocket, so big deal.
Oh, you mean, by African, you mean Elon Musk? I'm kidding, I'm trolling.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
whatever.
Multiple examples of Himmler being an absolute idiot, bubblehead, wrong and evil and lying. So, case closed there. Boom, you're done, Himmler. Shut the heck up.
Whoa.
Don't talk again.
Don't say shut up too much, kids.
So, there you have it, James. And again, I gave you another example of how the rich are getting richer and just decimating the have-nots. Go ahead and stay in that 95% and keep on, focusing and complaining about the blacks. Oh, by the way, Hayden, still a long way to go, but homicides are down 6% this year in Chicago. So no, not on fire. Moving in the right direction.
Lord.
All right.
You think Chicago's moving the right direction with their socialist mayor? I'm glad that they got rid of Lori Lightfoot, I guess.
Yeah,
but I don't think that. Do you think that socialist mayor Brandon Johnson is better than Lori Lightfoot?
Why do you call him socialist?
Isn't he an avowed socialist, or am I mistaken?
I have not heard that he's a socialist. No.
Chicago socialist mayor. I thought that it was like on record of him being a socialist. Perhaps me. Perhaps I'm the one who's wrong.
I had not heard that. If you have proof, I'll be glad to discuss it.
IPA News Pack calls him socialist. Socialist. He was a social studies teacher, so that's socialist. So
okay.
No, because I'm halfway serious. Social studies has its roots in communism, something like that, right?
I don't think so. Social studies can just mean studying the history of government in our country.
Tax the rich plan to bankroll social services. I mean, his policies are pretty socialist. But anyway, you're thinking that Brandon Johnson. Okay, see, IPAnewspack.com. Don't ask me what that is.
Never heard of that.
Chicago's newly elected socialist Mayor Johnson is a big hope for the American left. An article by Nick French. Yeah, I'm surprised that you hadn't heard this accusation leveled against him. Well.
Yeah. I'm evidence-based, so if you want to bring facts...
Oh, so wait. So is your stance that he's better than Lori Lightfoot?
The results are showing so far, yeah. Didn't see any declines under her administration. So we'll see.
Wow. All right. Joe from Phoenix.
When Himmler is so desperate and whining and begging on his knees for you to ban me or whatever else, trying to bring money into it and all that, that's the reason why, because I debunk and completely crush all of his nonsense and lies and being wrong. That's why he's so desperate to get me off.
What is happening in Chicago that is making the crime go, quote unquote, down, according to you?
James, I'm not there. I don't know. The article I read said that there has been a lot more grassroots organizations stepping up and doing the work locally in terms of identifying gang members and reporting them to cops. More programs in terms of getting kids off the streets and after-school programs and the like. But I can't speak to that for sure. I'm not there, and the article was not in detail about that.
Yeah,
it was just showing.
All those things are just addressing symptoms, in which you have to address symptoms. I get that, but that's not really addressing the real issue, which is the messed up families and the victimhood.
As we know.
Yeah.
We agree.
Anyway,
I blame the black women for that in those ghetto cultures.
The great spoiler alert explains that social studies is what replaced civics in schools. See? I knew it. You knew that?
So what I said. Well, it's what I said. So it's the study of government.
Right, instead of civics. It replaced civics. So that means that it was socialist propaganda.
I don't know about that, James, but I'm not going to defend the study of social studies. I mean, I think government should be taught in school.
Right, civics.
Kids should know about our system of government and how it's supposed to work, at least. Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway.
What a mess.
Keep that in mind, James. That's why you so desperately get me, James. It's not because that's why you have to lie about me hating white people, which I don't.
He hates you because you're a snake.
He hates
and
me
a liar.
because I debunk all the stuff like I just proved.
A lot of that stuff is like marginal.
Because of my skin color.
It's like, okay. I can see how you're being like rationalizing your position. It's not like a real valid, real point. But anyway, I got to keep it moving.
And proof. All right. Have a good day, James. But that's the reason why. Keep that in mind.
You don't know him.
Have a good day.
You too. That's Joe in Phoenix. What a mess. Some super chats, guys. I will get to your calls. I want to do a little quick Instagram live because I'm not able to. For the sake of my IG, I don't want to go live on IG Live on my show. No Hake Live on IG! ! Boom. Copy. And, what's up, guys? Hold on. You're now live. What's up, guys? Civics, the study of good citizenship and proper membership in a community, says spoiler alert. Wow, they don't want them to be good citizens. Hey, IG people, I'm not going live. Hey, you guys see me? It looks dumb. I'm not going live on my IG on my show. Here, let me show you this. You see that? Because terrible. I need to clean my lens. Because Instagram keeps on wanting me. They're saying that Instagram says that I'm using like automated something and to protect your account from getting suspended or permanently banned. And I don't want my I believe it or not, even though I neglect Instagram, I like IG. And so I'm not going to stream my show on Instagram anymore. I don't think. Because it's a mess. And Instagram keeps on falsely accusing me of using something that I could get me banned potentially. Joe 1, Hake 0, Mark 0, is Carver. And so we're in the middle of my show, and so I wanted to let you guys know that I can't do it. I can't do it. So we're just going to do it live from the other platforms. Forget it. What is happening? LOL. I'm going live to say I'm not going live. That's right. So, what's up? Sorry, I'm sad. 2014. And, you guys want to see what I see? I'm looking at, go over to YouTube or Facebook or, yeah, maybe so. Sorry, I'm sad. 2014. Who says, is that why they would cut you off after an hour? What's up, vet nurse? I was thinking of you. That's partly why I'm doing this. So, no Hake Live on Instagram. Have to just go to Facebook or YouTube or Rumble or wherever. D-Live crew. Shout out to the D-Live crew. What's up, Dr. Jeff B. And Kilo Alpha Tango. Qatar. I forgot to read your diamond. Kilo Alpha Tango, by the way. But anyway, I I'll have to just do other stuff on my Instagram. I neglect it so bad. I only go live there and it doesn't grow anything. And I do appreciate you guys. I see your guys' chats, but I just can't do it. I can't do it. Because I want to protect my Instagram and hopefully not get banned. Because I like Instagram. I actually really like it. Even though they're liberals. And I like liberals. Shout out to them. What else? So go to thehakereport.com and figure it out. Go pick your favorite platform. I have alternative platforms. I'm on Kick, Twitch, but those aren't listed anymore. I simplified the number of links I show on my website, as well as my allmylinks.com/thehakereport. But nice. Protesting an automated response. Indeed. Yes. The great Bill O'Reilly. You need a phone case, says Jupiter. I know, I put a phone case on, I put protection on when I go to the beach. Sometimes. So, find me elsewhere. Just set your clocks and turn on the notifications. All right? What else? Gotcha, we'll go to another source. Darn, only for veterinars? No, I was thinking of you too. Sorry, I'm sad, 2014. Goodbye. What are the other ways again? Facebook or YouTube or elsewhere. Look at my guy. Be happy. All right. Peace. Instagram crew. Heading over to Facebook. See you there. I'm sadder than usual. YouTube. Go to YouTube or Facebook or wherever. Hake, it's like you're growing up before my eyes. I watched the Rumble video, but use your YouTube chat. Thank you, spoiler alert. I appreciate that. Bye, guys. Take care. End now. And share. Oh, Terry joined me over there. Okay. Boom. So, yeah, I'm a Bond. Nice. Very important little update for you guys. You can leave the case on. No, because this phone, my holder won't stick. My cell phone holder won't stick. It has a suction cup thing, and it won't stick to my windshield. And so I stick it in the, I plug it in and stick it in the cup holder, and it won't fit in the cup holder without it. And I don't like the case anyway. It's too bulky, and I like the feel and look of this by itself without it. So vain. Nice. Okay. So that's that for those. A few more super chats, guys. A few actual super chats. Catch Joel Friday TV coming up soon. I think it's over here. Nope. Here. All right. Ooh-doo-doo-doo-doo. Popcorn's Thump Keg, Harmony, Becca, Terry. Who's that? Karen. Oh, thank you, Karen. Shout out, Karen. Terry bought a coffee. Hopefully it's clean. She always does clean coffee. Happy Women's Equality Day, Hake, she says. And I'm trying to zoom in here. Emoji. Thank you, Terry. Happy. There's all these fake days. Have these fake holidays. But yes, happy Women's Equality Day. Is it really? Is it really? I'm tempted to check, but I don't want to take away too much time. Women's Equality Day. Indeed, there is such a thing. And what is it? When is it? 1971. At the behest of Representative Bella Asbug, Democrat from New York, 71, past 73, U.S. Congress designated August 26th, Women's Equality Day, the date selected to commemorate the 1920 certification of the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, granting women the quote-unquote right to vote. It's not a right. Women's Equality Day, August 26th. What a mess. Thank you there for the tip. She knows so much. She knows so much. Okay. Thank you, Terry. There's that young man. There's some equality for you. That's basically what women's equality has gotten us. A beta father babying his 7-year-old son, but he looks like a man. His fingers are mannish. I mean, manly. Manly fingers, not like Hake's. But that's the way it goes. I almost want to say I hate this, but I don't hate. Okay, I'm just gonna go through and close some of these. I like that one. That's funny. Thank you, Terry, for that coffee. And what else is going on over here? Becca bought a coffee. I forgot my login on Punchie.tv. What do I do? Covering her eyes emoji. You might be able to email the admin, radio@jesseleepeterson.com. The admin might be able to help you out. That's an interesting question, Becca. These airheads. I'm kidding around halfway, Becca. Shout out. Becca's cool. Punchy.tv. Forgot her login. Union dues. Find a way. Find a way. Which is not the line, not the exact melody. Thank you, Harmony, for your 3 coffees. Union dues. Oh, Lord, are they union dues on Hake and Anchor Baby Airlines? Oh, finey away. And this beautiful emoji of the dove with the olive branch or whatever it is. And Christian cross. Thank you, Harmony. Okay, this is a good one from Popcorn Thump Keg, no doubt. Popcorn Thump Keg. During your call with Ronnie, you alluded to the idea that black people shouldn't be allowed to vote. Let's see. I was kind of exaggerating because I was in a heated moment with Ronnie, and when you're in a heated moment, sometimes you overstate your case and say things that you don't even really believe. What's going on with my trackpad? It needs to be cleaned up. Okay. Come on. Look at this. Oh my goodness. During your call with Ronnie, you alluded to the idea that black people shouldn't be allowed to vote. I don't want to put words in your mouth or misquote you, so my question is, do you believe that black people should be able to vote? Why or why not? Please answer. In general, they shouldn't. They shouldn't bother. I don't know if they should or shouldn't be able to, have the opportunity to. I am for people who have a real stake in the country, meaning they own something and they're doing something with their lives. They're doing something that benefits the country. They're not a drain on the country, and they have some sense. But most of them should not have no business voting. Look at how they vote. There's no validity in voting 96% for Obama twice. No validity to that. So, be able to, that's an interesting question. I don't know. But I certainly believe they shouldn't bother. If the answer is no, let us use JLP as an example. Tell me specifically why JLP, a black man, should not be able to vote. Well, he owns stuff. There's no question that he loves the country. He gets to vote. What is it about him specifically that should disqualify him from being able to vote? No, he's more qualified than me. He owns stuff. He is running his business, and he's loves the country, and he's a sensible man. And he's not voting for the self-destruction of the country. He's not bribed to vote away his freedoms. Remember, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, whatever that's supposed to mean. Oh, you mean, so the goose being the blacks who in general shouldn't be voting, and the gander being JLP, a real man who ought to be voting. If blacks were like JLP, they get to vote because they would own stuff, they would contribute, they would actually have a stake in the country, not just be born here and then senselessly vote in the country's self-destruction and contribute to the destruction, really take away from the country. There are givers and takers. I've seen Popcorn Thump Keg. This meme, spoiler alert, may know about it, of the average contribution versus the average cost to society, contribution to the country versus cost to the country or society or the government or whatever, of the average white, the average Hispanic, the average black, and others. And I think that and I don't know how all they figured it. They had a whole bunch of sources, but they were saying that the average black is a net cost, meaning they're taking services or they're committing crimes that cost money. Crimes cost money. Did you know? They also cost opportunity cost. Ever heard of it? So there is, and then they're just so senseless. Just listen to Chad Jackson's interview on the JLP show just today. Just today. Yeah, paying taxes, they get more than what they give. Many of them, many. Yeah, paying taxes, I don't agree with even having taxes. Which brings me to this. Very briefly, if I can cover this, you may have spotted it. Vincent for Trump. This is from Daily Veracity Substack. This is quite interesting. From Vincent's Substack, Daily Veracity. He says, I know he's been saying, why I'm voting for Trump. I know he's been saying some really, I cannot stand this trackpad. Sorry, guys. I'm being a beta. I know he's been saying some really crazy stuff lately about bringing in millions of people legally and slapping green cards on diplomas, which everybody says at some point. Every mainstream person says it at some point, even Charlie Kirk and probably some Democrats too. And disavowing Project 2025. But hear me out. So here's Vincent James's thing. Here's Trump with RFK. Will Trump be the end-all be-all we need? Blah, blah, blah. Don't know. Immigration. Is there a chance that Trump as president will do something about immigration? Obviously, yes. He doesn't say obviously, but the answer is yes, because in his first term, he did quite a bit about immigration. People don't want to acknowledge that, the betas. For example, all the refugee resettlement programs closed their doors during the Trump administration. Refugee Resettlement Watch, Ann Corcoran, been on the JLP show over the couple of times, at least over the several years. Her website was closed down by evil WordPress, but I think it was WordPress. But shout out to Ann Corcoran, Refugee Resettlement Watch. The Trump administration repeatedly set the lowest refugee ceilings of the program's 40-plus year history, with each proposed number lower than the last fiscal year. Beyond the low caps, Trump's team slowed the process to a near standstill by implementing the extreme vetting in several ways. Nice. Popular refugee resettlement programs closing under the Trump administration, 2019 headline from far-left NPR, ABC News. Trump's decimated refugee programs hampering Biden's historic goals, so say advocates, in an ABC News article from 2021. Then there's Trump's favorite graph he loves to show, the same one he showed during the assassination attempt against him. It's a bit misleading, but mostly accurate. Illegal immigration into the United States. Biden, world record immigration, world record illegal immigrants. Very high. Many from prisons and mental institutions, also terrorists, so says Trump. And it may be true, I don't know. Oh, I hate this. Sorry, kids, don't hate. I'm annoyed. And Trump had it relatively low. Now, Vincent James says that it is misleading. And I could believe it. You know, it's like not a... it doesn't really tell the whole story, which no graph does. But Trump trying to make himself look good, and he has that right. Nothing like this has ever happened to our country before. Pardon me. You just have to bear with my boomerism. So is there a chance Trump will do something? There's more than a chance. Trump would definitely do something about the mass immigration. And white replacement, I disavow that. That's a, for the sake of the channel, I call that a conspiracy theory. January 6ers, why is this so slow? Man, this is brutal. I wanted to get down to where this talks about this. Oh, I disagree. I disavow any vaccine talk, blah, 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 blah. But Trump is friendly with that guy about it. And he's always been an independent thinker on the schmacks, on the schmack scenes. Listen to this. Free trade and abolishing the income tax. This is what I wanted to get to. Recently, Trump floated the idea of eliminating U.S. income tax and replacing it with tariffs on imports. Trump is the first president, says Vincent James, in over a century to advocate for a distinctly 19th century approach, the 1800s, to trade policy. He has drawn inspiration from President William McKinley, he's a big fan of. He called himself a big fan, I think. I don't think was he calling William McKinley a big fan of? I don't know, whatever. To support his proposal for a significant new protective tariff. Trump has controversially revived the idea that tariffs could once again serve as the primary source of federal revenue. He's proposed using income from new higher tariffs to offset reductions in other taxes such as corporate income tax. Trump's even suggested the possibility of a tariff-only revenue system. He thinks outside the box. And I don't like that phrase, but he thinks he's an independent thinker. He comes up with this. Have you ever heard a president say, I would have negotiated around the Civil War? No, you hear these simps like, oh, we fought a war to get rid of the slavery. Not, I would have negotiated around the Civil War. It's terrible. We want to avoid war. I've never heard or even thought of that. Shout out to Trump. Representative Thomas Massey, who many of you guys like, and I like him too, Republican from Kentucky, shared on social media platform X one of the most intriguing ideas from the GOP meeting at Capitol Hill Club this morning when Trump briefly mentioned the idea of eliminating the income tax and replacing it with tariffs. See, Thomas Massey is good for the country, even though Trump has bashed him at times because, whatever, he's he sort of reminds me of a Ron Paul only in that he comes off sort of silly. But Ron Paul and Thomas Massey, better men than I, right? Then again, some people say that Karl Marx is a better man than Hake. Is this likely? No, but there's a chance of something close to it happening under a second Trump term. Maybe not even close to it, but just something different. Like Trump has ideas. He throws out ideas. He's like, how about machine guns at the border? Or whatever. And I disavow that. But, no idea off limits to float so that another idea that's actually the solution comes in. The obvious theme throughout the article is there a chance and doesn't include immigration, taxes, January 6ers, blah, 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 blah. So right on, anyway, thank you. I liked it. Oh, I already liked it. I'm not logged in on this one. But I think I'm one of the people. I was one of the first to like it. But anyway, shout out to Daily Veracity, Substack. Shout out to them. And I disavow any schmack scene talk. Nice, huh? I think that's cool. So thank you, because there was somebody in Farsights in my chat. Shout out to... I didn't say that, Hake. Oh my gosh. Because Farsights is like, oh, black people pay taxes, and that's something that old old. Ronnie from Ohio was like, they pay taxes. I'm like, I don't respect taxes paying. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so that's cool, in my opinion. But yes, shout out to the blacks. Shout out to them. Doesn't it indicate to you something that they mostly, those who vote are like crazy? Control plus to enlarge, control minus to make smaller. Yeah, I do that too. And then I also control scroll wheel. But whatever. He liked it, but he didn't pay the $2 to subscribe, says Carver 531. Yeah, I know. Maybe I will one day. Oh, let me get back to the stuff. Let me get back to calls. I owe it to my callers. Mark in Los Angeles, California, on the line. Mark, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for holding.
Oh, how you doing, Hake?
Doing well, thank you.
Well, before I get started on your communist snake demonic friend from Phoenix who you didn't challenge on any of his lies about me, before I do that, though,
Yeah.
I want to remind the audience over the weekend in England, an African migrant, as he's so lovingly called, stabbed a white man to death in front of his kids and laughed about it. Okay, that's where we're
Where'd you get that?
That was on Breitbart News.
Okay, so
Okay. You got to read Breitbart. That's the only way you're going to get true facts here.
nice. Who
There
knew?
was something else.
And
Pardon
Breitbart's
me?
not even necessarily Christian, but that's cool. Thank
No,
you,
I
man.
know they're Jewish run, but they're still telling the truth on many, especially
I know that. Yeah.
on the race issue. Okay, now I got to take apart the scumbags' lies. I got to waste time calling in.
You don't have
just
to.
debunk. No, I don't have to, but I'm not going to let somebody smear me and walk. And further, before I go on to that, you got a couple of real idiots in the chat or whatever you call it, the comment section.
Uh-huh.
Every communist and every white hater, Carver, are you listening? Are all on his side. Okay.
No, Carver's just trolling.
No,
He's
I saw what he wrote.
no.
I saw what that
You
scumbag wrote.
got him pinned wrong, man. He's a high IQ trolling.
High IQ.
He agrees with me, and he probably agrees much with you. He's just
He agrees with that demonic devil from Phoenix.
No,
Read
I don't
the
think so.
comment.
I think he's just kidding around. I'm spitting.
Yeah, and then you got, I'm not even going to mention her name. You know, the communist that you think is such a great person.
Yeah.
She's on that devil's side too. Anyway, let's get to what his lies were.
Yeah.
He said that Farrakhan was involved. He has no proof. Farrakhan was never charged with conspiracy or murder. At least you, as a white man, when I brought this to your attention last week, you conceded. You were wrong. The devil will never concede.
Yeah, I know.
He said it. He's got to own up to it, but he's not man enough to do it. I was disappointed. Oh, and about Caitlin Clark, it is racial. There may be some white girls who are, trying to impress their black sisters, if you want to call them that, by attacking Caitlin Clark. But the Angel Reese and the others are attacking Caitlin Clark because of her race.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with money. But you got dopes in that listen to your show that are going to believe this scoundrel. So I have to call in to refute him. And I noticed you didn't ask him if he was willing to ban himself for a year to enrich bond by $250.
He kind of addressed that.
Okay, I missed it. Did he agree?
No, he said, "Oh, that's silliness."
See, he's a fraud.
That's not being a fraud.
Integrity.
That doesn't have anything to do.
He's got no integrity.
That doesn't have anything to do with integrity.
I think it does. I was willing to do it. I was willing to give up a year of calling in and give you guys the money for it. I wasn't going to get a penny out of it. But that slime ball wants to continue to slam white people, the Hells Angels. He's trying to pretend the Hells Angels are a national crime wave. When was the last time you were robbed by a Hells Angel? Okay, but the Negro crime is so out of hand, he won't talk about it. He wants to pretend that it doesn't exist. I just profiled a murder in England where the immigrant, so-called Negro, stabbed a white man to death in front of his children and laughed.
That's a terrible story, man. Stop. I don't even want you to be repeating that. That's too like graphic and extreme and rough.
You have
for
to show these devils for who they are.
I know, but that's
you have to.
You're being devilish by
exposing what the devil's doing.
No, by being devilish about it.
I'm just reporting it.
No, you're not. You've said it twice. This is too much.
Well, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank
you. Okay,
you're offending my sensitive heart.
Okay, now
and there's children who listen to the show. You know, it's like, all right. Okay,
swarms of Negroes in our major cities are attacking elderly whites. They profiled it. They showed it. A gang of them, I don't know what city it was, they found an old white man walking down the street, but, these bums got no jobs. All they know is we hate whitey. And they attack him and beat him down. It's happening all over. The press isn't reporting it. The police aren't arresting, and the prosecutors aren't prosecuting. So scumbags like your friend in Phoenix can say, look, the crime rate's down.
You have too much malice in your tone.
No, well, okay, I'll calm down.
Yeah.
I know that they say I'm angry, but, I try to talk calmly, but I guess they detect it
because you're
voice.
like using all these scumbag words and swarms of Negroes doing these crimes and swarms of hordes of these blacks committing these crimes.
Well, you ought to see it with your own eyes, though. Really.
I know, but you don't have to bring that hell into my tender little world, my walled garden of the Hake Report.
You don't want to face reality, then.
No, I don't.
Also,
especially not as explicitly and viciously as you're describing it.
Well, those are your words, viciously. That's a matter of opinion.
Right, but you well know that you're heated.
Okay, yeah, I hate to see my white brothers and sisters murdered. I mourn for white victims of black crime.
Right.
I don't think you do. I mourn for those people.
Yeah.
They lost family members, and the media doesn't care. Now, there was something, on the N-word, that he said there was another N-word. You didn't. I wish you would. I know you can't think of everything, but I wish you would have brought that up, because even the so-called N-word is protected by the First Amendment. And the word Negro is definitely protected, and it's not a slur.
Right.
And I'm going to continue. I know if you don't want me to, I won't. But I'm going to continue to attack those in the comment section that support that devil and that attack me. There's supposed to be white people. What kind of white people attack their own race when they're trying to...
I think you're being immature. I think you're being immature on that. You're being petty with that.
I think they're being petty.
They may be. I mean, that's the snake pit. What do you expect? They're supposed to be petty. But a lot of them are just kidding around. They're being funny. They don't even really agree with Mark. They agree more with you, but they're just trying to...
You mean Joe?
I mean, Joe, yeah. They don't. Yeah. I mean, Joe. They don't even like Carver. I know. I can almost guarantee you 99.9% that Carver largely agrees with you and does not agree with Joe.
Okay, fine. Then I take it back.
Yeah.
But what I read in the comment section didn't sound supportive of me. It sounded supportive of Satan.
How about are white Hispanics white?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're white, Sal. Sorry.
I
shouldn't have brought him up. I was just saying somebody in the chat is white.
Yeah, no, I like white Spanish people.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Franco in Spain and the fascists.
Fair enough.
Those are good people. Now, there was something else he said that I want to address. I didn't hear his whole monologue, but I know he always attacks me. I know,
and you guys are like cats and dogs. You guys remind me of the maid and the cook in Mary Poppins.
Okay, if he hadn't lied on me today, I would have never called. And I want to address Jeff in Louisiana.
But I scoff at his
accusation. I attack when I'm attacked, Jeff. If that bothers you, don't listen. Go ahead, Hake.
I scoff when he calls you a liar, because everything that he thinks that he debunked is like, okay, you have your little point, Joe, and it's not really relevant. So for you to get to puff up and bristle and at basically a joke of an intellectual named Joe from Phoenix, who calls himself Joe from Phoenix, for you to bristle at that shows that either you're insecure or you're petty or both.
No, it's more the audience. I don't want the audience to be gaslighted by a communist into thinking that I'm a liar.
The only people
on
who
your show about anything.
The only people who would be fooled by Joe are those who are prone to be fooled by him anyway.
Oh, you mean like the communist, the strange one? Okay, well, I could see that because she's an admitted communist, so she is going to agree with him.
No, she's an ex-communist.
Well, same poison. She's been poisoned, and there's no coming back. Just read her comments, Hake. You don't have to take my word for it. Just read what she said. She loves the guy. And if you love that scumbag, you're scum too. Sorry.
Nice.
Sorry, people. Sorry, Hake, for saying that, but got to get it out. But I think, again, I'll end with this.
Yeah.
You guys do a public service. You, Jesse Lee. And one other thing, speaking of Jesse Lee, the reason I don't call his show isn't because he's black. It's because his show deals with couples having problems or, family matters, stuff that bores me. Nothing against Jesse, but that bores me. So I don't bother to call.
Okay.
You, I could get into and talk to the anchor baby, the same now. Joel Friday, he's more of talking about love and couples and stuff. That's not my cup of tea.
Nice.
But, I appreciate all you guys, and I appreciate what you do. Sorry for the mean tone today. But if it wasn't for the fact that he called and lied about a million things, I had to respond. I'm sorry. Really, I don't mean to be rude.
Boomers and conservatives, I don't know if you consider yourself conservative. I think you are.
Far right.
They hate lies.
Yeah, that they got a guy, and I'll make this quick because I said I'm going to go by. I just came to my mind. There was a commentator in Great Britain talking about some of the white Brits that have been thrown in jail for the posts they talked about Muslim immigration.
Yeah.
And this one commentator, I forgot his name, but he's rather well known in Britain, said that he hopes that when these white guys go to prison, they have to deal with the Asian gangs, these rape gangs who promise that if they don't get converts in prison, white converts, they'll kill them.
Whoa.
And this guy was cheering it on, man, this creepy liberal commentator.
Not good.
Throwing innocent white men who only wrote stuff on Facebook in prison with these monsters. That's where we're headed. Believe me, and I'll let you go. If it's up to that clown in Phoenix, we would both be going to jail because he doesn't believe in free speech. Commies don't believe in free speech.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
God bless you. Thank you.
You as well. Bye. Ivana says, I like how Mark stands on his square, even though he out of pocket. Nice. Catch Joel Friday TV coming up next, guys. Coming up soon. Jaime in Minnesota on the line. Jaime, thank you for calling and holding there, man. Appreciate you. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, Hake?
It's going well. Thank you.
It's a warm day out here in Minnesota.
Beautiful Minnesota. Wow.
90-something degrees.
Sweet.
Nice and humid, too.
Humid, too? Nice and humid, you said?
Yep.
Right on. I respect it.
Yeah. I had a couple of comments about some biblical stuff.
Stay close to your phone. Yeah, there you go. Sounds better.
About some biblical stuff.
Okay.
Not really on the subject you guys have been talking about.
No, you're fine. I don't care. I see your topic.
What is it?
Oh, no, you go with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So with the Bible, Revelation was written by the Apostle John, and some people say it was written during 68 AD, and the number of the man, the number of the beast, 666, it comes out to Nero Caesar. He was the emperor of Rome at that time. So, there's those
The
numbers.
number comes out to Nero Caesar?
Yeah.
How do you explain? Oh, in Hebrew?
Yeah, the Hebrew letters. And back in those days when they wrote something political like that, which it is kind of political,
Okay.
they used descriptors like that, like a vision and monsters and all this other stuff, so that they wouldn't get persecuted.
Oh, that's smart.
More.
Yeah, very smart.
But Nero
was he already in office, if you will, at the time that John wrote it?
Yeah, he died around 68.
Okay. Huh.
But Nero persecuted Christians hard. Really, that's the guy that people hear of throwing them in lions' dens. And
he's the one who burned down Rome, right?
Yeah, and blamed it on the Christians.
Whoa, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
So John wasn't talking about something in our day or in the future of the futures.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
He was talking about something that was happening then.
I could totally believe that. I don't know, but that sounds quite reasonable.
Right.
And Bill Lockwood, JLP's monthly guest, he agreed. I mean, I don't know if he agrees with you specifically, but he has said that Revelation has already happened. It was about something that went down in those days.
Right.
Yeah.
And the temple, that second temple, that fell in 70 A.D. Our boy John the Apostle died around 99 A.D. He lived a nice life. He didn't get persecuted so hard. He did get sent to prison, but he died a peaceful life.
Cool.
But he knew what love was.
Nice. Yeah.
You know. So all this Revelation stuff, looking for it in the now and here, it's a psyop. You know, it's a.
I believe that, and I think that it's kind of like when you compare what's written in Revelation and say, hey, that sounds like today. It's kind of like the black Hebrew Israelites reading about the Israelites and say, hey, that sounds like us. It's people being in their heads. Because as Ecclesiastes said, nothing is new under the sun. So, yeah.
And so the description of Jesus and his skin as bronze and his hair like sheep's wool, it's all a vision talk, you know, just for the story.
Means he had a good tan, right?
No, it doesn't mean anything, really.
Oh. Nice.
So the 1,000, you know, all those prophecies that, what pastors do is they look at these scriptures and then make a nice story so that they can get people in the doors, you know, so that they can get more tithings.
Yeah.
And over the years, the story's got to get bigger, you know, and bigger and bigger. Otherwise,
that's interesting.
People ain't gonna come.
Yeah.
And that's because those Christian pastors are evil and they follow their ego. But the other thing is God. God is the truth. Truth is what gives life, you know.
I think that's true, man. I agree with you on that.
That's how you can go through this life and wonder, you know, a lot of Christians, they say, I love God. I know I have a relationship with God, and they read the Bible and they go to church group and they think that's God. They wouldn't say it, but they think that's God. And that's not what God is. God's not the Bible. God's not the, you know, the church.
Yeah.
God is truth. And the truth, you know, I think that it was who was that guy that asked Jesus what is truth? Pilate,
yeah.
Pilate asked Jesus what truth was, and he never got an answer.
Yeah.
Truth.
It was sort of a rhetorical question.
Right. Truth is what gives life. Here in life, in our individual lives, you know, things, all the questions that we have on social issues. There is the truth, and then there's a lie.
Yeah.
Lie gives death. Like homosexuality. It doesn't bring life.
Right. Yeah.
It's a lie. But then there's justice, like between things that happen between people. Like Juicy Samole. The truth there is what happened, and that's the truth. It doesn't have to give life or anything, but when you're talking about justice, the truth is what happened.
Okay.
So truth in the godly sense, in the philosophical sense, is what gives life. Truth in justice sense is what happened.
Nice.
Yeah. What was the other subject I was going to say? There's three things I was going to tell you.
No, I just know this is good enough for now, man. Call me again tomorrow with that, because I want to keep on. I want to see if I can squeeze Rick in. Jaime in Minnesota.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man.
Have a good one.
You
Bye.
too. Bye. And Rick in Minnesota. I mean, Rick in Hampton, Virginia on the line here. Rick, how you doing, man?
James, my brother, what's going on, man? I was listening to the service yesterday, man. Y'all had some good topics going on yesterday. I'm like, oh, wow, man.
Sorry, headphones users.
Well, man, What did you say, James?
I said, sorry, headphones users. I forgot how loud your phone always is.
Oh, my fault, man. I ain't mean that there, Brother James. But anyway, man.
Church was great, huh? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The service yesterday was great.
Yep. I'm with you on that.
Yesterday was great, man. I just wanted to get in, why don't the Democratic Party, you know, they don't push trade school, they always push college education.
College education?
Yep.
They do. And the college is more liberal and propaganda-ish than ever.
Right.
Even in the useful fields, they're propagandizing the people.
Yeah.
Yep.
You hardly ever
I've never knew that there were so many liberal doctors, just liberals with an agenda.
I didn't either, man. You wouldn't think, because I'll tell you, it is really amazed you, James. It's like you would think that I don't know, man, it's crazy. But you would I'm with you on that, man. You would think that it'd be the doctors, since everybody wants to sue the doctors so much that and most time conservative visions normally protect the doctors. The Democrats encourage you to sue the pants off of them.
Yeah. Terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. And right.
The whole
That's
world
crazy.
is so corrupt. It's a mess. It's partly it's partly what I was talking about with this ADHD, anxiety disorder. They're such atheists, communists, that they're looking they're looking to doctors to solve something that starts in the spirit and then affects the mind and body. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It just, man, they just making a disease for everything, man.
Spoiler alert says he hears.
Everything.
Spoiler alert says I hear even Bible colleges and seminaries are full of far left liberals now. Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Oh, yes, sir.
They're all gay or feminist or POC, anti-racist. It's ridiculous, and it's been that way probably for some time. Anyway, yeah.
You hardly ever hear them talk about trade schools. Now you hear Donald Trump talk about trade schools.
Right,
because
he's sensible.
The Democrats talk about trade schools. Yep. And trades, a lot of people don't realize trades, most of the time they be the ones to start their own business. They be the first to buy property. You can learn as you go. You don't have to go into debt.
Yeah.
And
I don't know much. I don't know much of anything about trade schools, but it's good to learn a trade, whether you're doing that or just going into work and learning as you go. I learned so much.
Right.
Practical and sensible things versus being in the bubble of college, where you learn piddly things here and there, but man, your background noise is piercing my ears. Anyway,
I'm sorry about that, James. Sorry about that.
No worries.
What about now?
That sounds fine. Yeah, so it's a mess. Terrible.
And it's like, wow, man. And you hardly ever hear them talk about how successful people that have trades do.
Yeah.
A lot of them be the first to start their own business, buy property, and you never even know about that. And you just have to dig in and research.
So true.
I wanted to ask that guy, Chad Jackson, how he researched stuff. I want to better my skills in researching stuff even deeper.
Oh, nice.
Because if you don't, man, the Democrats will blow all kind of stuff over you. They'll tell you the economy is better, and we know darn well inflation is a problem.
I know.
But they'll tell you everything's normal.
That's typical.
They'll tell you everything's normal. Oh, what are you talking about? Everything's nice. What are you complaining about?
They're liars.
Yes, absolutely.
Never trust. They're deceivers too. On top of that, they don't tell you the whole truth.
Yes.
They don't tell you the truth,
Yep.
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help them God. I'll tell you that much.
I noticed for sure that during a convention, the Democrats always bring up race.
Yeah.
Always. They don't want a black lady in charge.
I'm getting a lot of background noise. You seem like you're working or something.
Oh, yes, I am. I'm sorry. Let me put my tools down.
Oh, no worries, man.
But
I gotta wrap up, Rick.
Okay.
But they don't push trays because they don't want to be used. They don't want people to be independent and free and sensible.
Exactly
Trump is
point.
sensible. God is sensible. Men are sensible, but they're not. It's good to hear from you, Rick. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, love you guys, man. Good service yesterday, man.
I
Y'all
agree.
stay on topic, man, and love y'all, and y'all be blessed.
You as well. Thank
Sorry
you,
for
Rick.
the bad connection.
No worries. Thank you. He works in a place where it's rough. I gotta wrap it up, guys. I don't know if I have enough time for this, actually. Let's see. Turn down that snare. And kids of the world. Where is it? Hey, I think it will work. I think I do have time for it. Here it goes, guys. Bye. Unite! If we can ever get along, unite! Analyze the situation, unite! The unity of death of God, unite! Held together by the power of His mind. We are the young, we are the free, we are the only ones. We stand determined to change, and we will not be Squad 5-0! We will raise against the dying of the line. Antipathy and hate continue to destroy nations. It's sickness, self-destruction built into our human nature. I got no time to stop destructing till the time is right. Kids of the world, unite! Unite! And now they're almost in our reach. Unite! Attaining peace to human effort. Unite! It's just a mix to the end. Unite! Held together by the power of His mind. We are the young, we are the free, we are the only ones. We're standing determined to change, but we are not. It's Christian. Rage against the dying of the Lord. It's a poem. I got no time to stop destructing till the time is right. Kids of the world, unite! Trash music as always. Unite! Useless if we don't get along. Unite! It's Christian. Held together by the power of His mind. Kids of the world, unite! Adios. Oh yeah, I forgot. My friend said, this sounds like Rancid. Kids of the world. Kids of the world. Kids of the world. I'm overtime. Kids of the world. Kids of the world. Kids of the world. Bye, guys.